You're an outside the belly. I'm your blowtorch of free speech in America. Phone lines open as always. This is your show. This is a community. Want to hear from you. 888-480-JOHN, 888-480-5646. Normally, we don't do outrage here, but I'm outraged by the HB1 visas, 600,000 Chinese students, Virginia communists trying to steal 4 seats, rip up our Constitution. These 4 seats in Virginia, they steal them. Guess what? We're not going to win the House. This is how high the stakes are. I'm all in. I'm going to fight it. I want who's with me. If you're with me, call me. 888-480-JOHN. We're not going to sit back and let them just steal 4 seats. Well, John, we're filing lawsuits, John. We're filing lawsuits. Yes, we are. And we're filing lawsuits. Really? Ooh, that's a good plan. Let's leave the fate of the nation over to Supreme Court, 5 Supreme Court judges in Virginia. There's a plan if I ever heard one. Let's go that route. Maybe it'll all work out for us. Maybe 3 of the 5 judges will strike it down. Or maybe not. Or maybe they'll say, well, you know what? Let's not rule on this. Let's wait till after the referendum in April. Let's do that. Yes, let's wait till after the referendum. And so the referendum gets on a ballot and we have no defense because we have no infrastructure and we have no party and we have no plan and we have no workers and we have nothing. I mean, I hate to be this way, but like the truth, my friends, will set you free. The first thing you have to do is admit the reality of your situation. And until you do that, you're going nowhere. You got to admit the reality of your situation. I remember playing baseball in high school. And I remember that my coach, I hung a fork ball or something. The guy hit a 3-run homer and I walk off the mound, bottom of the ninth. I forget where we were playing. I hung the thing in it. I think the ball's still going. I remember going out. The guy comes to me and he says to me, your fork ball sucks. It's like, yeah, that's right. It didn't really do much except go like 400 feet. I mean, you just got to admit it, and then you got to fix it. We got to admit it. We got to fix it. Admit it and fix it. That's what we got to do. We have no defense on this referendum in Virginia, and here's the reality: we lose these 4 seats. You start doing the math on keeping the House, it ain't good. We don't have a lot of pickups. Not good. So I'm all in. I want to know who's with me. Let's get to Tony in North Carolina, line 1. Tony, you're live. Go.
Hey, John. How you doing, buddy?
Never better.
Hey, I agree with you on everything you're saying this morning, dude. Agree on everything.
Thank you.
And I want you to, I got a note from Ann yesterday, thanking for my donation, too. We was out of town for a couple of weeks, and we just got her mail yesterday, so I appreciate her sending me a thank you note.
Well, you know what, Tony, without people like yourself believing in us and donating to that bus tour, we wouldn't be able to get this off the ground. So thank you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you.
Thank you too, John. I appreciate it, buddy. And I don't know what Trump's doing with these Chinese, man. Maybe he had to make some kind of deal with them on the tariffs and to allow some of them in. I don't know what's going on, man, but I hope he changes his mind on it,
Well, he's going to change his mind if his base goes nuts. I mean, that's what I was trying to tell Carl. That's what I was trying to tell Carl. There was no backing off this by Scott Bessent had we not gone crazy over the last 24 hours. That caused the backpedal. Look, where's base? We got him there. Okay? We have a right to weigh in. And this idea that everything we do is fine, it's not. Like, we're all team players. I mean, I showed that with Winsome Sears. I spent a year trying to recruit somebody else to run for governor. Couldn't do it. She's a nominee. What choice do I have? I authentically backed her with everything I had. At the end of the day, got to be team player. while you can still change it, you try to change it. It's kind of where we are.
Well, I know. I'm backing them too, John. I didn't have no idea we was going to lose that dang bad, buddy. I swear I didn't. But we did, and we're going to have to fight hard, man. That's the only thing I can say.
We got our ass kicked. Now we got
to tell Tyler he's got. Hey, John.
What?
Tell Tyler he's got Joe on there for me. I think my name's Tony anyway. I didn't know what he had on there.
Tony in North
Maybe
Carolina.
It's not me.
I said Joe. It's by mistake.
Right,
He's got Tony. It's my bad. Thank you, Tony.
Okay.
Thank you, bud.
Thank you, John. Have a good one, bud.
All right, let's get to Walter Curt with us from his own. He's an independent media guy at WC Dispatch. Walter, thanks for joining us.
John, how you doing?
Good. I want to know how we're going to fight this referendum in Virginia.
You guys are going to be in a rough place in Virginia with this, because what they're going to do, they're going to do the exact same thing they've done with these other referendums. It's going to be the exact same message, the same way they did it. They're going to stick abortion on the ballot, and then abortion is going to be the number one issue on the ballot, and they're not going to even run on the other referendum. And that's how they're going to get their base to turn out. This is the same thing they did in Ohio. When they tried to get the abortion ballot, they also stuck on the legalizing marijuana on that, and they did that to also ramp up the base to get people to show up. So expect that. That's going to be the only thing that really matters to them. It's the only thing they're going to campaign on. They're going to make it all about women's rights. But to fight it, you're going to have to get a massive mobilization. You're going to have to get the messaging right. In Ohio, they did this by a constitutional referendum on that as well. Now, it's not about redistricting here in Ohio, but they made it all about abortion, and then they stuck other things on it. And the way that I tried to tell it to people is like, you can't let the Democrats make your Constitution a policy document, because that's what they're trying to do. They're going to try and make the Constitution a policy document, and that's not what the Constitution's for in any state.
So in your view, what should be the messaging?
The messaging in Ohio, in Virginia needs to be, you guys already voted on this. You already had this vote. You guys don't want partisan redistricting. You already had the vote on this once before, and this is an obvious power grab by the Democrats. I mean, you guys already voted. It passed by popular, didn't it pass by like 65% or something like that just a few years ago, right? I mean, it's
67%.
Exactly. So you already had a popular referendum saying, hey, we don't want partisan redistricting. Why are you automatically redoing it? You're only redoing it because you're worried that the Democrats are going to lose seats in the House. That's the only reason they're doing that. And I think that's a pretty easy message. And I think Virginians, I really hope that you can mobilize people out there to say, hey, we definitely don't want to change what we already voted on just a couple years ago. It was 2019, if I'm not mistaken, right? I mean, it's not like this is super old.
2020.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't have them trying to just obvious. The only reason and I was wondering, just like you, I was working every day trying to get the Virginia ticket across the line. And I was blown away by the result, mostly because it didn't make sense to me. Why did they have so many people there? Why did they have so many of their big names on the line showing up there? Well, the reason they did is because they were worried Jay Jones was going to lose, not because Spanberger was going to lose. That's what they were worried about. That's why they brought everybody in. And because they knew if they lost the attorney general's race, then maybe Mayoris would be able to block the redistricting plan. So they threw everything they had in. Every single person in the Democrat Party showed up specifically so they could get Jay Jones over the line, because they knew that he would go along with the redistricting plan. That's the reason they did all of that.
Makes sense. So how do we beat it?
Well, getting back to that, Virginia has a huge problem because, just as well as you know at this point, the Republican Party in Virginia, clearly's infrastructure collapsed, or they just don't have one. I mean, it was a disaster.
It's the latter.
Yeah, they just don't have one. It's a disaster. I mean, it's a complete disaster of what's going on. I mean, I don't know how you fix it in time, but the only way I think you can beat a referendum is you actually have to get the Trump voters to be excited about something. And like you've been talking about all morning, the 600,000 Chinese students in H-1B visas is not making the base happy. Now, the other problem with this is that, I don't understand what they're doing with this messaging at all, because you could have said things a lot differently rather than just saying, oh, people are dumb and we don't have the people. Like, Trump already signed an executive order for H-1B visas saying that it's $100,000 additional on every H-1B visa. You could have said that and said, well, if you really want to bring in H-1B visas, then sure, you got to pay us $100,000 extra dollars, but we want you to hire the American. How difficult is that messaging? Why is it so difficult? I don't understand why they're doing this. It doesn't make any sense to me why you're going to come out here and say stupid things when you already signed something to make it better. You already signed something that makes it sound better, but you're dropping the ball on the messaging on this. And the 600,000 Chinese students, that's a stupid message too. But you also have to say something along the lines of, yeah, you can't have 600,000 Chinese students, but you also have to tell people one of the reasons that you don't want to get rid of all the student visas because you're worried that 15% of all the colleges in the country would go out of business if you got rid of all the foreign visas. That's what you should have told people. We've got a problem. We have to fix it. We have to address it. It's not great.
You don't fix it. You don't fix it by selling it to foreign students. I mean, the whole thing is just, it's incredibly dumb.
It is.
Right? Like we need revenue for colleges. Therefore, we're going to ship in 600,000 Chinese students paid for by the government. I mean, just tell President Xi in your negotiations, send me X dollars to my colleges and I'll lower your tariff 5%. I mean, the whole thing is absurd beyond comprehension. And even to try to explain it that way. Well, our colleges are going out of business. Well, then they're going out of business. Then we're going to have less colleges. I don't know what the answer is. Probably because the colleges suck. I don't know. But this idea that we have to save our post-secondary education system by shipping in foreigners whose tuition is paid for by the Chi-Coms is incredible to me.
Yes.
Because
it doesn't make any sense at all.
Like Chinese daddy is paying $75,000 annually. They don't have any money. I mean, they work for peanuts. They don't have any money. So who's paying for this? The Chi-Com government.
That's right.
It's insane. All right, stay with us. I got to go. We're going to finish up here with Walter, still with us, Walter Curt. Walter, thanks for your patience. Got a lot going on today, so thank you for that. So let's get Walter back in. So thank you, dude. So what, we got to fight this, right? I just got a text from somebody in Ohio that said, call me. We beat this in Ohio whenever it was sunny in Ohio. I just want to know, I need you on our team. I don't know what it's going to look like, but we're putting something together now. We're working on a C4. We got the governor involved. We got all the people involved. We're going to need to raise money. We need to get the word out. We're going to need your voice also, figuring out what's going on. I want to know if you're with us.
I mean, I'd absolutely be with you. You need me. Listen, to me, I spent a lot of time trying to get involved with Winsome campaign, but I also came in late. I didn't start really working and trying to help people down in Virginia until about June or July. And we started making progress, especially in the digital space. We started making progress. But the deal is you need infrastructure. You need people on the ground. And the deal is, if you want to get people on the ground, you need activists that are willing to show up and actually be on the ground, not just knocking doors. Knocking doors is not the only thing you could do. The one thing that Trump did right in his campaigns is that he has a better ground game than pretty much anybody else. He's got big events. He's got big speakers. He's got people that are willing to go out there and talk. You got a good message. You got public speakers that can go out there and get people excited. You need to do that. The Democrats, they throw all of their money behind these giant, huge protests that they do. And people, I was mad at the people on the conservative side when they were saying, well, they don't matter. Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. You ignore the people in the streets, these No Kings protests that they were doing. The reason they did that is because that's where they sign up and get more activists to go out there in the streets with them the next time. And they grow it and grow it and grow it and grow it. And you're right. We only have a couple months before this is going to start to be even worse. I was talking about the midterms, and I was saying if we don't have a ground game built up and an infrastructure ready to go within 6 months, the Democrats are going to trounce us in the midterms. That's what I told people just after the election. And it's the same thing for this referendum. You need people that are willing to show up. You need to pay them. I don't understand what the Democrats were willing to pay all kinds of activists. They've got all people. They pay thousands of people. You've got to at least get some sort of team. That's what I'm actually trying to do with the Conservative Caucus, and that's Jim Pfaff's group. Jim Pfaff, and I'm the state director for Ohio for the Conservative Caucus. So I'm trying to get the same sort of thing rolling out here. We need to have a ground game. We need to have people on the ground. And what we can really do, I'm not expecting thousands of people, but you can definitely get enough money behind organizations that are willing to put people on the ground, willing to go out and do stuff, willing to hold events, willing to get people up and excited, to get the base motivated. That's what you need to do. And that's what I think the only answer is to this. If we don't have a structure, we don't have an infrastructure, the Republican Party, if they're not going to back us, then you're right, we have to do it ourselves.
That's it. I mean, you just summed it up. That's why I want to do it ourselves and work through the 5 congressmen affected in Virginia, work through the governor, work through our existing apparatus that the Congress people have in order to put something together. Because if we wait for somebody else to do it, it isn't going to get done, right?
That's right.
And there's no, like, if there was a legitimate Republican Party of Virginia, you could work through that. It doesn't exist. Like somebody said, I mean, it's basically a burnt coffee pot and a beeper. I mean, there's nothing there. So, we got to create it, or we could just cave. And I'm not going to cave.
Yeah, never cave, never give up.
You and I are going to be on the same team here. We're going to figure it out, and we're going to get to work. Walter,
let's get to work.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
People want to follow you. Where do they go, Walter?
You go to WCDispatch.com, or you can always find me on X at WCDispatch.
Walter, thanks for all you do. We'll be in touch.
Thanks,
you.
John.
We've got Matt Schlapp coming up, Grover Norquist, Patrick Mara, Chairman, DC GOP. He's going to be here for an hour in studio. All coming up right here. Stay with us.